Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the Celestial Harvest. My name is Celeste. I've had a request for a video on how we know when this Peruvian apple cactus is going to be fruiting. So today we'll take a look at the flowers, kind of see what everything looks like before it sets fruit, and then what it looks like when it actually does set fruit. One of the first things that you want to keep in mind with the Peruvian apple cactus is that much like other cacti, it takes several years before it will start to bloom and set fruit. So don't be discouraged if you got a new plant and it's not fruiting right away. You have to be a little bit patient with these guys, even though they are a pretty fast grower. You may be wondering where the fruit actually grows on these plants, which is a great question. This portion of the plant is referred to as the rib, and each one of the places on the rib where there are thorns has the potential to create a flower. And when that flower is open, if it's pollinated, that's where it will set fruit. Okay, so bloom time may vary depending upon where you're at and your temperatures that you have, but for us here in Florida in 9B, I find that we tend to get blooms around late spring and then also again in fall. So the pictures that were uploaded in this video were actually from last month in September, and those have all set fruit at this point. That's probably the last time that they will bloom this year. This is what it looks like when the buds start to form on the cactus. You can see that each bud is formed along the rib, and despite the fact that the buds emerge from the places where the spines exist, the buds themselves are actually quite smooth. Now don't get it confused with these kind of fuzzy spiny spots at the top of the plant. They will actually turn into additional arms. They're actual cactus growth. This is what your blooms will look like the day before they're ready to open. If you go out the following night, this is what you're going to find. They're a beautiful flower, but remember, they only open for one night. If they need to be pollinated, this is the time you're going to want to do it. The following day, they'll start to look a little bit wilty, and then eventually they'll close entirely. Once it has closed, the blooms will actually drop off entirely, and this is what will be left. Once the flower falls from your cactus, the piece that remains on the cactus is the part that will become the fruit. This is going to take about 6 to 8 weeks to ripen. Now, if that flower was not adequately pollinated before it dropped off, the piece that would be the fruit will actually fall off within a couple of days after the bloom drops. I hope that this has answered all of your questions about the Peruvian apple cactus setting fruit. If you have any more questions, please drop them in the comments for me. Otherwise, hit like, hit subscribe, and I can't wait to see y'all again next time.